Welcome, welcome. It is once again Wednesday and it's time for some woo-hoos. A woo-hoo is a stress management technique to shift the focus from looking at all of the problems to solve and really focusing on things that are going well, things that you're trying hard about and just are positive. My woo-hoo this week is really about my circle of support. Over the last couple of weeks, I have really taken stock in the friends, colleagues, just people in my life who, if I need something, I can pick up the phone or send them a text or a little emoji on a text, and they're there for me, and I'm there for them. And that circle of support is something that I know through the research on the book Stress Proof Your Life is very important in terms of reducing our stress, making us more resilient, making it more possible for us to handle whatever comes along. So wherever you are right now watching this, pop a comment into the area down there. Just let me know you're here. And what are you celebrating this week? What's your woohoo? What's gone right? Who do you appreciate this week? I am in appreciation for a number of people, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. But here's what's going to happen. We're going to talk about why that circle of support, having that group of friends or colleagues, is so important to managing stress. One of the ways we're going to talk about is a sense of belonging, being seen. Another is creating a safe place of understanding so that you can talk about what's going on in your world. Having people in your life can help you reframe what you're going through and refocus, and why it's important to nurture those relationships over time. That's what we're going to talk about today. If you're there thinking to yourself, I'm feeling a little stressed, not sure I have a huge circle of support, that's okay. Let's get started. You can go to teststressnow.com. There is a free set of videos to really understand how serious your stress level is. Hop on over there and give that a try. Pop a comment into the comment section wherever you are and let me know that you're here and what you're celebrating. And let's start out. Let's talk about that sense of belonging. We all want to feel part of something bigger than ourselves. And certainly one of the ways that we can do that is belonging to a professional association. And I know it seems like it is an expense that maybe is something isn't always worth it, but I can tell you, my professional association, the National Speakers Association, and our chapter, NSA Wisconsin, is where I have formed such important relationships over time. They're the people who I can pick up the phone or send a shout out over text, and they will come to my aid. They will provide insight and let me know that it's not just me, other people are experiencing the same thing. I know that I can pick up the phone and call Lisa Hain and ask her about culture issues and dealing with issues within a workplace. I can pick up the phone and ask Darcy Loma a question about training. I can pick up the phone and ask Roger Wolkoff for his insight about dealing with people who maybe lack a little bit of emotional intelligence. I wouldn't know any of those people unless I was involved in the National Speakers Association and in our Wisconsin chapter. It is so important to be able to make those connections and create that circle of support with people who really understand what you're experiencing, work in the same field, have the same struggles. When everything happened 2 years ago, it was really important to talk to other speakers and other people in the meetings industry that watched the calendar disappear. All of those events that we were looking forward to just disappeared. Having people to talk to about that is really important. The next piece I want to talk about is how do we make that even deeper? How do we create a sense of safety and understanding so we can actually talk about the things that are maybe difficult to talk about? Or how do we create a space where people know us so well that they're able to call out our roadblocks, that are able to push us in the direction of the commitments we wanted to keep. I have a mastermind group, and it is 3 other professional speakers who we've been on a journey together for almost a decade, meeting virtually and meeting in person. Tom Singer, Jessica Pettit, and Jerry O'Brien have been my board of directors, my chosen family, the people who really, when stuff gets real, I can call and they can call me, and we know whether it's personal or business or whatever, we are there. We call our group the Bat Signal group because we have all thrown up the bat signal and said, I need help right now. Having those kind of people in your life are really important. The other piece is you don't have to have this decade-long commitment to people to have a safe and understanding place to talk about things that are difficult. I was facilitating a mastermind session about a week ago, and one of the people on the call was expressing deep frustration and anger about how difficult it is to deal with events canceling and sort of the slipperiness of plans, and you get excited and you plan for something and all of a sudden you're rescheduling it, or it's canceled, or it's pushed to 2023. And that frustration this person found hard to express and talk about with other people without it turning into a conversation about how we feel about COVID and what's the right thing to do about COVID. And in this safe and understanding environment, we were actually able to have a very real conversation about the pain and the frustration and why that makes us so angry when we have to deal with it on an ongoing basis. So think about, who are the people in your world? How can you create that sense of safety and understanding so that you can be in a place where you can talk about things that are really real? And if you're like that person dealing with a lot of stress and anger, go to teststressnow.com. Find out if that stress level you're experiencing is something that you need to pay attention to before it affects your ability to think creatively and critically, or it impacts your health. Next thing I want to talk about is the ability of people who know you well to help you reframe your experience and refocus your attention. I have people in my life from lots of different worlds, those friends who can bring with them a different kind of history than other people. My college roommate, Jill Holder, and I have been friends for more decades than we're going to admit. And there's something about being able to talk about things and have that person say, wow, I remember when that would have been really hard for you. Good for you for that growth. Without that history, you don't get to be reminded of how far you've come. And maybe it's somebody you meet from well outside your professional range. Dana Robb is one of those people. We met because we both sail. We have really come together in so many ways. We've been able to work on so many things over the last 2 years, professionally, as part of boards, and just as friends. And that's really important. And then Angela Piro. We met on a committee when our children were in high school together. They are no longer in high school together. But being able to have a different perspective on somebody who knows me a little bit recently but well is very important too. So being able to combine all of those different people into your world to create that circle of support is really, really helpful. Oh, hey, Jill. Jill jumped in to talk about, we have a weekly hour-long happy hour on Wednesdays. It's coming up today, Jill. I look forward to it. And this is a great segue into the last thing I wanted to talk about, which is the importance of nurturing all of these relationships. If you don't spend the time to intentionally reach out to people, it's very easy to let wonderful people who you truly appreciate in your life fade away. And Jill's right. That hour a week where we get to talk together is something I look forward to every single time. Whether we're talking about something serious or we're just being silly, it doesn't matter. That time together is really important. So think about, how do you nurture the people that you really value in your life, whether that's a family member, a colleague, or a friend. I will tell you that Maura Thomas, I am going to continue to talk about her ability in attention management and taking the stress out of your inbox, all of the things that she writes about. One of the things that she really talks about is getting all of the things that you need to pay attention to out of your head, so you're not stressed about, oh, am I doing this? Am I doing this? And one of the things that I have found really valuable, she recommended a tool for me to keep track of all the things that I need to do, a task management system. I proactively put in there to reach out to people on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, a couple of times a year, people that I want to stay in contact with, and I want to nurture that relationship because they're important. One of the things Maura says is about what you put priority on are the things that are important to you. Using a task management system to just remind you to reach out makes a big difference in how you feel, how you manage your stress, because you get to interact with these wonderful people. You have a strong circle of success or support, which does lead to success. So think about that. Who in your circle do you need to reach out to today? I'm going to encourage you to just send a text to somebody that you really appreciate and is part of your circle of support that maybe you've not reached out to in a little while. Go ahead and do that. I hope you had some insights that'll help today to find belonging and safety and understanding and helping you reframe and refocus and reduce that stress. We'll see you next Wednesday. Have a great week.